It's time to duel! Hey everybody, Animon Glendora here, and welcome to another terrible theory. As you've already guessed, we're talking about Yu-Gi-Oh! Specifically, the Yu-Gi-Oh! Gods. Now, the Yu-Gi-Oh! Lore has become very, very complicated in recent years. It has gone from having three gods created by one entity, and then another one who is the exact opposite of that said entity. That's it. It's gone from that to having 30 different gods. So there are a ton of gods, and it's gotten so confusing to tell who's in charge of what anymore. But I'm gonna try to explain it. Keyword being try. So if I get any of this wrong, please do not freak out. Just call me, let me know in the comment box if I left anything out or if I forgot something. Just let me know. But with that in mind, let's jump into this. So, it all starts at the top. Pretty much God. Not the different gods. Those are I guess if anything you could call them I don't know, mini gods, demigods, something like that. I don't know. But they are not God. God, the being who created all life in the universe. That is the Numeron Dragon, number 100 from Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal. We find out in that the Numeron Dragon created the universe, as well as 3 legendary dragons. Why did he create the universe? Because he was lonely. I've heard of worse reasons to create a universe. But yeah, so he created the universe because he was lonely and created those 3 legendary dragons. Those 3 legendary dragon gods being number 99 Utopic Dragon, number 107 Neo Galaxy-Eyes Tachyon Dragon, and number 66, I believe it was. I'm sure somebody will correct me if I'm wrong. Number 66, the galaxy, essentially the Galaxy Eyes number, the Neo Galaxy Eyes number, which the full name escapes me currently at the moment. But he created those three. To essentially look after the different worlds. One to look after Earth, one to look after Astral World, and one to look after Barian World. However, with the creation of these 3 worlds, there also had to be created beings of pure light and pure darkness, which is when the Numeron Dragon created both Herekati and Zork. Herekati to look after the spirit world and the world of light, while Zork looks after the shadow realm, the dark world. And Herekati eventually split herself up into three gods, the Egyptian gods, to I suppose better protect the world from the forces of Zork. Zork, however, eventually learned of this trick and split himself up into 3 gods as well. Those gods being the wicked gods. And let's see. The Crimson Dragon. He fits into the Crimson Dragon, also known as Shooting Quasar Dragon, as is its true form. Um, Shooting Quasar Dragon was created when Numeron Dragon fell into a deep sleep. Shooting Quasar Dragon is supposed to look after the cosmos. He is the guardian of the cosmos. Um, and when when major cosmetic threats arise, he chooses five warriors to represent him. These being the signers. And let's see, the sacred beasts. The sacred beasts happened. The sacred beasts happened because the Egyptian god cards were corrupted by Zork's power. They were corrupted and deformed to look like that. So they got new names, but they are Ra, Obelisk, and Slifer. They are corrupted. They were corrupted by Zork's power. Since Zork is gone, when Zork died, the last of his power went into those three gods. So after the pharaoh left, there was no one who could control the three gods. And so they became corrupted and had to be sealed away under Duel Academy Island. When Kaiba sealed them down there, probably as a favor to Yugi. As far as Yubel, she is actually interesting. She didn't actually start off as a god, but that's exactly what she became. She became that through the power of the darkness, the Shadow Realm, and she gained this power from the villain, the final villain in GX, who, by the way, is Akhenaten from. Damn, that didn't work. Leave a message. The final villain in GX is Akhenaten from the original Yugioh series, from the past, from ancient Egypt. We see in the manga, we see his carcass. And we see that that's exactly who Bakura is trying to resurrect. And we get the sense that he needs enough darkness, and he needs enough people to go to the Shadow Realm in order to revive. Throughout the events of Season 3, people are going to the Shadow Realm left and right. Like, it's happening all over the place. Practically every character takes a vacation to the Shadow Realm at one point or another in that season, which allows him to come back. But without the pharaoh and the Egyptian gods there, since the Egyptian gods have been corrupted, we needed other gods to protect. We needed other gods to protect the world. So Yubel became a god. Her different forms is her god forms. And the five dragons, that's pretty self-explanatory. The Shooting Quasar Dragon chooses the five signers and gives them five powerful dragons. And Exodia. That's actually a very tough one. Exodia is a very difficult one because there are different versions of Exodia. There is Exod, Master of the Guard. There is Exodios, Exodius, the ultimate the ultimate something. I don't remember. Then there's the regular Exodia, and then there's Exodia Necros. Uh, we have those different types of Exodia, but he's something that never truly fit in here. Uh, the only way I can justify him is perhaps he was created to be a servant of the Egyptian gods. Perhaps he was created to be uh, kind of the Ronin for the gods, like how the Marvel universe has Ronin to declare when the Kree are coming, or better, he's the Silver Surfer to the gods Galactus. Like he is essentially just the messenger. He's the first wave. Like he'll take out as many enemies as possible before the gods arrive. That way the gods don't have to exert too much energy. I think he's just a servant to the Egyptian gods. But that is basically the tree of gods. That is what it is. And I'll end up creating a little diagram for you guys. And I'll leave a link for it in the description box below. That way you can actually see all of this. But yeah, so that basically is all the gods. Unless I'm forgetting something. Oh, the Nordic gods, Thor, Loki, and Odin. I did forget those. I have no idea. I honestly don't. I have no clue how to explain those three. They don't seem to fit in anywhere. And it's not like Exodia where I can just assume that they're a servant of something, because they get introduced so quickly, and just as quickly as they're introduced, they're taken out of the series. We never get enough information about them to draw any sort of conclusion as to how they're connected to any of the other gods. That really sucks. I would like to know how they connect to all this, but sadly it doesn't look like we'll ever find out. But let me know what you guys think. What do you think about this theory? That all the gods from the different generations are connected? And what set of gods is your favorite? What's your favorite god? And also, what's your favorite generation of Yu-Gi-Oh? So let me know in the comment box below, and I will see you guys in the next theory. All right, take care, everyone.